management at Turning Point USA, along with Ed Rollins here in the studio, former White House advisor to President Reagan and Fox News contributor. Great to see you both.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. So, Candace, let me kick this off with you because you've actually been a victim of this. You were kicked off Facebook and Twitter.
I was. In the last 2 weeks, I've had suspensions from both of those platforms, and this is a really important issue. I cannot stress this enough to everybody that is conservative and everybody that supports Trump, especially those that support Trump. I think what they're starting to understand is they're trying to assess how Trump won, and really, he ran an aggressive social media campaign, and they see that people that were able to impact, they lost control because so many voices popped up, and they no longer had to rely on just CNN, MSNBC, or Fox. There were all of these social media stars that were coming out and speaking on behalf of him that had a major impact, and now those voices are getting silenced.
So you think he won the social media war then?
That is exactly right. He won the social media war, and that's what they see as the biggest threat for them going into midterms and heading into the re-elect in 2020. So it's incredibly important that we speak out all the time. People have said, oh, it's Alex Jones, he's a conspiracy theorist. That does not matter. The implication here is that Spotify, YouTube, and Facebook on the very same day banned somebody off of their platforms. That means that they are working together.
You know, one of the issues, Ed, is that I think the detractors of President Trump are going insane because he's having such good outcomes. I mean, his economic policy has produced 4.1% economic growth. We've got the lowest unemployment that we've seen in decades, lowest unemployment for the African-American community ever. And so they're out of their minds that the outcomes are so positive going into the midterm election.
Well, equally as important, and a lot of people said the social media that he used, his tweeting and what have you, was detrimental to him. It was not at all. He has dominated the last 2.5 years. No president, no candidate has ever dominated the media, both the cable news, the social media, what have you. He understands it well. His people understand it well. And I think to a certain extent they see it as a threat. Every day people are sitting there waiting for his tweet to respond one way or the other. And if all of a sudden it's a one-sided game in which you stop the people who are supportive of him, then it's not fair, and it's certainly a violation of those people's rights.
Yeah, but Candace, I mean, you've got a lot of shaming going on. I mean, the left, their main strategy is just to shame you, name call, so that you just go away and stop talking positively about Trump's policies.
That's correct, but look, that's actually hurting them. That's actually detrimental to them. It's nonsensical at this point. Think about the fact they call me a white supremacist. I'm African American, and I speak vocally in support of Trump, and they say that I'm a white supremacist. It's hurting them because it's starting to look like they have nothing left, and they've called everybody everything. Listen, there's nothing much more that they could stick on Trump, and he rose above it each and every time. So the name calling is desperate. It's an effort that won't work for them.
Well, it's interesting because Rasmussen says that black voter support for the president nearly doubled.
That makes me smile, yes. So that means that despite the fact that they have called everything and everyone racist at every single term, the black community is no longer listening. Do you want to know why? Because the results are in. He is helping us. We are on the rise. We are getting jobs. He's attacking the illegal immigration issue, which negatively impacts the black community. So at the end of the day, results speak louder than words.
Nobody knows the elections better than you. What are you seeing in terms of the midterm elections, Ed Rollins? We've got 80 days left.
Well, there's a lot going to happen the next 80 days. Historically, the last 21 midterm elections, the president's party's lost 30 seats and 4 Senate seats. That's not going to happen. I'll predict that right today.
Really?
We may lose 5. We may